The world of investing can feel like trying to navigate a giant, confusing maze. It's complicated, it's always moving, and honestly, it's pretty easy to feel a little lost. But what if you had a guide, someone who could help you read the map and make the right turns? Well, today we're diving into the role of one of those potential guides, the mutual fund sales representative. All right, let's jump in.
Okay, so first things first, let's be real. For most people, the financial marketplace isn't just a little confusing, it can be downright intimidating. You're hit with thousands of options, mountains of data, and a language that feels like it's from another planet.
You're looking at this massive, sprawling system, just trying to figure out, where do I even fit in? How do I make this work for me? It's really no surprise that so many people feel overwhelmed before they even make their first move, right? When you're facing this mountain of information, what's the first step? Well, a lot of the time, it's finding someone who actually knows the terrain and can point you in the right direction.
And that's where the mutual fund sales representative comes in. Now try to think of them less like a salesperson and more like a specialist guide. They're there for a very specific part of your financial journey, helping you navigate the world of mutual funds.
So what's their main job? At their core, they're licensed pros whose number one responsibility is to make sure that the mutual funds you're buying are a good fit for you. It's almost like they're a tailor for your investments. They have to make sure the product is suitable for your specific financial situation and what you're trying to achieve.
And this is a really, really important distinction. A mutual fund rep is a specialist. They know mutual funds inside and out. But they can't give you advice on buying, say, an individual Apple stock, or help you drop your entire family budget. That's a different job. That's what a financial planner does. They take a much bigger picture look at your life. Knowing the difference helps you have the right expectations right from the get-go.
Now, any good guide has to follow the rules of the road. And for a mutual fund representative, these rules are absolutely non-negotiable. And they're all designed for one reason: to protect you, the investor.
Their duties really stand on three main pillars. First, the legal pillar. Every single recommendation they make has to be suitable. Then there's the ethical pillar. Your needs have to come first, always, before their own, before their employers. And finally, the professional pillar. They owe you the best service they can possibly give. These aren't just nice ideas. They're the foundation of their entire job.
And this gets us to that key word, suitability. This is the absolute cornerstone of their legal duty. See, an investment isn't just good or bad by itself. It's only suitable if it perfectly matches your personal goals, your financial reality, how much risk you're comfortable with, and your timeline.
I really like this quote because it gets to the heart of it all. It's not just about checking boxes to stay out of trouble. It's about truly understanding the principle behind the rules, which is to always, always do what's best for your client. So how do they actually make sure something is suitable? How do they live up to that ethical standard we just talked about? Well, it all boils down to one incredibly important rule. That rule is Know Your Client, or KYC for short. And this isn't just some boring paperwork. It's the whole ballgame. It's the mandatory process that lets a representative do their job correctly. Because without knowing you, they simply can't give you good advice. So what does knowing your client actually mean in practice? It means they need to understand these 6 key parts of your life. They need to know your personal situation, your financial health, like your income and net worth, what you're actually trying to accomplish, how much you already know about investing, how you feel about risk, and of course, how long you're planning to invest for. Every single one of these is a critical piece of the puzzle.
So you might be thinking, hey, it's my money, right? I'll take the risk. What happens if you just decide you don't want to share all those personal details?
Well, here's the thing. Their legal and ethical duty is more important than making a sale. If they don't have enough information to figure out if an investment is suitable for you, they actually have to refuse your order. It's a safety feature built into the system to protect you, sometimes even from yourself. Okay, so theory is one thing, but let's see how this all comes together in a situation you might actually encounter. It's one thing to hear the rules, but it's another to see them in action. So let's meet Dave. He's 29 years old, and his big goal is to save up for a down payment on a house. He needs that money pretty soon, in about 2 to 3 years. He says he's okay with a moderate amount of risk, but he admits his investment knowledge is poor. These are his KYC facts. Now, Dave walks in with an idea. A well-meaning relative told him, hey, if you want the best returns, you gotta be in equity funds. And this happens all the time, right? We get hot tips from family and friends, but is it actually suitable for Dave? This is where the professional guide earns their keep. The representative knows that, yeah, equity funds can have amazing returns over the long haul, but they're also volatile. That means their value can swing up and down a lot.
And in a short 2 to 3 year window, there's a very real risk that the market could take a dive, and Dave could lose a big chunk of his down payment right when he needs it most. So for his timeline, it's totally unsuitable.
So instead of just saying, okay, and placing the order, the representative educates Dave and suggests a portfolio that actually fits his goal. Look at this. The lion's share, 85%, goes into a super stable money market fund to protect his cash. A small piece goes into a bond fund, which is generally safer than stocks, and just a tiny little 5% slice goes into an equity fund to give him a little taste of that growth potential. This is suitability in action. And that right there shows you the true value of a real guide. Their job isn't to sell you the hottest product. It's to protect you so you can reach your specific goal. For Dave, that meant keeping his down payment safe was way more important than chasing high returns.
So, we'll leave you with this final thought. Think about your own financial advisor or representative. Are they digging deep? Are they asking you about these 6 key areas of your life? Because at the end of the day, the quality of the questions they ask is probably the best indicator you have for the quality of the guidance you're going to get.